Hello, my name is Scott Kelly, owner of Gentle Earth Products and the director of the Homegrown Collective. Thank you for watching the Garden Creation Project, a collaboration between Life Cycles Projects, the Greater Victoria Compost Education Centre, and the Homegrown Collective.
Okay. My name is Nashira Birch. I'm the Education and Outreach Coordinator at the Greater Victoria Compost Education Centre. And today is a really neat kind of culmination of a couple different initiatives through the Compost Education Centre. We have our Sustainable Living and Urban Gardening Skills, i.e. S.L.U.G.S youth program that focuses on giving youth the skills and knowledge and experience to be able to grow their own food. So a partnership between that as well as the Life Cycles Diggers program, and then of course Scott and Carly, who are going to be actually using this garden in their community.
My name is Danielle. I'm the Urban Agriculture Coordinator for Life Cycles Project, a non-profit organization that works in Greater Victoria area to cultivate awareness and action around food security and urban sustainability. So one way we're working on that is through our Urban Agriculture Hub. And this garden creation is a part of that. So we've got, the hub is all really about building the capacity of people in this city to grow their own food. And we do that in a few different ways. We offer workshops, we offer resources like fact sheets on how to, turn your backyard into an organic food garden, and then with hands-on support. So we've got our group of diggers. It's a group of about 15 really enthusiastic people that want to learn more about gardening and then share what they know by helping others, either by providing workshops or actually helping set up gardens. So today we're finishing some of our training about urban agriculture and garden creation by building a garden together. So we're building 3 raised beds and a big pallet composter, as well as a little sandbox for this family's child to play in while the mom's gardening. We're hoping to do many more projects like this in the coming months with community groups and people that are interested in growing their own food.
Okay. My name's Kim Watt. I work with the Compost Education Centre. I'm their site manager, so I look after their gardens. And this week I'm here with the Diggers group from Life Cycles, building a beautiful 3-bin raised garden bed and compost for Scott and Lori. So how we designed this project was, first of all, we started off with a site assessment. We looked at the slope of their land, the aspect where south is, and just generally tried to find the most sun access point, or the most sunny spot on the site for vegetable gardens. So over in this area, this is sort of roughly north, so we have a really sunny part of the garden that's protected from wind. It gets a decent amount of light. There's only a small bit of shadow from the tree over here. So we thought that this would be the best place to put in a veggie garden. Also, Scott and Carly, they generate a fair bit of yard waste, and also now having a garden, they need somewhere to put their yard waste as well as some food scraps. So we've built a 1-bin compost bin for them as well, so they can generate compost to continue to feed the soil in their garden beds as well as divert yard waste from their site. Yeah, the raised beds are 6 foot square, and so we dug a hole in each corner and sunk in a 15-inch post and then just screwed those into the 2x10 planks. And it's a really simple way to create a very quick, cheap raised garden bed. And so before doing that, we cleared out all the grass underneath. We didn't dig up the roots because the roots have lots of organisms that are good for the soil, so we just smothered the existing grass with cardboard. So we put down an overlapping layer of cardboard up the edges of the raised bed and soaked that cardboard so that it fit to the form of the bed. And then once it was soaked, we started to put in this 50-50 mix of sea soil, which is a really great compost that's made from fish fines, so the leftovers from the fish processing industry as well as the leftovers from the lumber industry. So it's a mixture of carbon and nitrogen that makes a really great compost. So it's 50% sea soil, and it's 50%, I believe, just garden mineral soil. So it's a really rich, great soil for the garden. And so that's being filled in right now. You can see the people working and filling it in. We fill it to the top and then tamp it down with tools. Try not to step on the garden because compaction's a real issue in the garden. And then once it's full, we'll start to actually plant the garden beds. We have a really great garden design with vegetables that Scott and Carly have started, as well as seeds that were donated, and so we've got a great plan as well as a year-long plan to fill this garden and keep it full of food for them. And with the one bin composter, it's made mainly out of planks, out of pallets. So the pallets were just salvaged from different lumber yards. So we have 2 large pallets and 2 smaller pallets. It works well if you make it with equal sized pallets. So the dimensions on all sides are equal, it's a square. So we just secure the pallets together. There's 1 on the bottom and then 3 sides with pallets, just screwed together, used galvanized strapping, whatever you have to secure the corners. And then line the whole thing with 1/4 inch hardware cloth is the best thing for rat proofing. So 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch to even 1/8 of an inch is a safe size so that rats can't get into your compost and make it their home and start eating your food scraps. So that's what the shiny silvery stuff is in the one bin. And then they're working on putting in front slats. So there's 2 pieces of wood at the very front of the compost bin so that you can have the front of the compost bin be removable. So you can put in slats to whatever height you want and take them out as you need. So it makes for really easy turning as well as easy access in the front. So there, you can see that they're starting to do that over there. They have 1 slat in and they'll add slats as they get them ready and cut. And the final step on that compost bin is to put a lid on it, because we're in a pretty rainy west coast. If a compost pile is exposed to rain and sun and wind, a lot of the nutrients can be leached out. And so having a lid means that you can control the environment in there a bit better, also prevent things like rats and ravens and birds and things from feeding off your compost pile. So this is the site design that we did with the diggers on Scott and Carly's yard. So this is where their home is, and this is the bottom property of their yard. And there's also a front yard that we haven't included in this, but this is just a way that we've mapped out all the different elements that they have in the yard. So we've talked this cloud here is wind, so showing that wind tends to rock this fence along this wall. We have just different icons showing where there's brambles, where there's trees, where there's lots of shade, where the water tends to drain. So we have arrows just marking that this is a slope, and so the water tends to run down the property in this direction. And that down here we have another cloud that explains that the wind comes off the ocean and comes across their property from this direction. Where the existing compost bins are, potential diseased trees, as well as a wildlife corridor. There's a path from the gully, there's a park and a ravine down here, and the deer seem to be coming beside their house and crossing to the ravine, so marking what the wildlife corridors are, and just generally getting a sense of what the environment is of their property, so that we could design a garden bed that would work well with that environment. So there's lots of other things like rocky outcroppings, ornamental cherry, showing where there's some shade from trees and neighbors' yards. It looks like a giant kindergarten art project, but it actually is a really great tool when designing a garden. So this is the vegetable plan for the beds. So this is the sunniest bed, so we have some of the sun-loving crops, such as these are squash plants. So we're going to have 4 big squash mounds, and then while the squash get established, we'll have beets growing in between. There's also going to be tomatoes growing up the back fence, so that'll make use of vertical space and also the sunniest spot and most protected spot. Same with the middle bed, we'll have tomatoes up the back fence, as well as some sort of accessible green. And then like carrots and perhaps overwintering onions. And then this guy here is Mr. Potato Head. We're going to have a little potato patch for fall potatoes. And then down here, this is the shadier bed. So we thought because it's high summer right now, it would be a better place to put brassicas, which are often cooler loving crops. So we've got some broccoli, we'll have some kale, and we might have some radish or turnip also in this bed. And brassicas are an important crop to rotate, so we kept all of the plants in the brassica family in one bed so that we can easily keep track of them, so that we don't grow brassicas in this bed for another 4 years.
I think that some people, especially in the city, don't know where to start, or they don't know that you can grow food in the city. Maybe they think, oh, I don't have any space. So today we're building raised beds in a backyard, but you can also build container gardens on your balcony or patio. And if you don't have space in your backyard, you could always work on creating a community garden with your neighborhood. So I guess we feel like this will impact people by just showing that it is possible. You can grow your own food in the city, and if you're not sure where to start, we can help you. We've got lots of resources and workshops, and we can even come help you out with our group of diggers. Well, you can check out our website. It's always a good way to find out more. It's www.lifecyclesproject.ca. You can also give us a call at the office, at 383-5800, or send us an email at diggers@lifecyclesproject.ca.
As you can see, with community coming together, some guidance and expertise, and a willingness to open our backyards to our neighbors and friends, we can empower our health and get connected to what is truly important, providing real food to our families. It's about getting connected to what sustains us and giving back to our communities and our planet Earth. It's about our personal decisions and empowering choices. We buy from our local grocer, we support local businesses, and we share our backyard garden with our neighbors and friends. And they come over and help tend the garden. Because of Life Cycle's involvement and coaching, our total cost outlay for this garden creation project was under $800, and we made a return on investment the first year in delicious food. It's February, and the chard and the kale is still coming up. In Victoria, we have something called Seedy Saturday that happens on February 19th every year. This is where foodies, farmers, and gardeners go to collect, trade, and sell their seeds for the season ahead. I chose two very reputable local businesses, Victoria Seeds and Salt Spring Seeds, and are looking forward to reaping the rewards. I spent $25 and will produce an estimated $300 worth of food this season. Combined with our seed saving bank from last year, my family reckons we will have saved $1,500 in groceries, and we are eating the healthiest, most nutritious food on the planet, the food we put our love into. So thank you for looking deeper into what this real food movement is all about. I trust that this short piece has demonstrated that growing your own food is not work. It's about discovering the good life instead of chasing the American dream. It's about health and taking power back into our own hands as a community. No matter what happens in the world, if we as a people choose real food, get to know our farmers, and live in a connected way to our earth, we have a model which is truly sustainable. So give Life Cycles a call today and get growing, and get to know your farmer. Thank you.